ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter third chapter, known as Karma Yoga. We have covered studying up to the 26th verse. The 25th and the 26th verse has a very direct relevance to people who really want to build up their spiritual life. Therefore, though I have covered these two shlokas before, I felt I have not made full justice to these two shlokas. Pardon me if I repeat it once again for you, because as I told you, I take it for granted that all of you are not here just for the sake of intellectual understanding of what the philosophy of Gita is. I believe that you absorb these ideas and slowly build up your spiritual personality. Keeping that in view, these two shlokas has some very good relevance. Therefore, let me go back to these two shlokas. We have seen how, based on normal common sense, Arjuna asked Krishna if Sthitapragya's state of mind, Sthitapragya, the person of mature wisdom, if that is the goal of life, for that matter, management of the movement of your mind, controlling the movement of your mind is essential, which you have, Sri Krishna, in great detail explained in the second chapter. Tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojashi Keshava. Hey Keshava, hey Krishna, you are my dearest of the dear friend. You are my well-wisher. You want I prosper spiritually. Knowing that, why are you forcing me or instructing me or asking me to follow the path of this horrible activity, the warfare? Why don't you allow me to practice Sthitapragya's Lakshana as mentioned in the second chapter? Why not? Why are you not being fair to me? You're keeping something very good things for yourself or away from me, and you're asking me to what? That is how it started. And Sri Krishna assured, Yat yogai prapyate sthanam tat yogairapi gamyate. Yat shankhair prapyate sthanam tat yogairapi gamyate. Arjuna, don't think I'm being partial, or I'm being secretive, or I'm hiding something from you. The path known as Sankhya Marga and the path known as Karma Marga, both of them lead to the same goal through different paths and avenues. As you are constituted today, you are fit to follow the Karma Marga, not the Sankhya Marga or Buddhi Marga. So he assures him that he is not being partial. And then slowly, Sri Krishna teaches us through Arjuna how to convert the concept of worldly activity into a concept of worshipfulness. There are two words, work and worship. We are all workers. We work. How do we work? We get involved because we are motivated. And what is the basis of our motivation? We desire a result of our activity. Expectation, fulfillment of our desire, involvement which is strong enough to motivate me, and that motivation is oriented towards expectation of the fulfillment of my desires through this activity. And sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed, and we swing like a pendulum throughout our life between pleasure and pain. So the first lesson he gives us how to convert this concept of mundane performance of duties of life into a worship of the divine. We have spent a lot of time on it. Let us stop there. That is the first stage. Then he says, you may ask me, Arjuna, is it a fairy tale? Is it a woolly-headed idea that work can be converted into worship? Do we have any example in history apart from your claiming so? I will be satisfied if I find out an example in history who have been able to convert mundane work into an endless, respectful, venerable interaction with the presence of the divine in life. And Sri Krishna replies, look, Janaka and others, though they were emperors, but they were known as Raja as well as Rishi. They were known as Rajarshis. They were in this world, they were performing their duties, but by converting karma bhoga into karma yoga, they have been Raja Rishis. They have been knower of the reality, the truth, the own true original nature. He gives him an example. Then he satisfies us further. How? We know who he is. Who Sri Krishna is, we know. He is a complete incarnation of the divine, contained in a human form. The container is the human body-mind complex, but he who resides in it is the divine. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That is how it has been expressed an avatar, an incarnation of the divine. He says that, look, I want nothing in this world. Nothing is achievable to me or I have any desire to achieve. Everything is mine. I have no axe to grind. I have no worldly motivations. But look at me, how relentlessly I work. Look at me. And from our concept, if we look at this world far away from this maddening crowd, we will be absolutely amazed. Who is running this cosmic show? And every moment is well planned, well organized, well designed, well executed. There's no end of his activity, and he's running this whole world show. Not only that, Sri Krishna says, if I stop working, this whole universe will go into wrecks and ruins. It will go to dogs, as it were. Therefore, I have no personal axe to grind, but I continue to work to run the show. At the same time, a part and parcel of running the show is to help, to help my children. This is how he exemplifies himself. We have come up to that. The next stage is, there are other realized souls in the human society. They are not incarnations, but they have realized the reality, the truth behind this apparent world. They also, though they know what is the reality, though they know the soul is absolutely inactive, it is only presence, it is Sat Swarup, ever existence, it is Chit Swarup, it is awareness and consciousness, and it is Paramananda Swarup, absolutely ecstatic divine joy. That is my true original nature. The realized souls have realized that. Even having realized that, they continue to work in this universe, in this world, like any other human being. Looking at them, you will feel that they are as much attached to this world as I am. But they are not attached at all. They are working in this world as a karma yogi who has converted the concept of work into worship. Why? To set an example for lesser mortals. This concept that the society has produced, is producing, will continue to produce humans who by their own efforts, by the guidance of their guru, and ultimately the compassion of the divine, has achieved that goal. Even achieved that goal, even after achieving that goal, they continue to work in this world as if they are attached like you and me. But they are not at all attached. They are setting an example of how to live in this world. In Sri Ramakrishna's parables, in Sri Ramakrishna's words, a swan lives in water, swims in water, dips in water, plays in water, but not a single feather is wet. The art of living in this world is you are deeply involved to perform activities. But you and me, we are equally attached to this involvement and its results. Whereas the realized souls, the Vidwan, the knower of the self, they are involved but they are not attached. That is the example that they set for you and me in this world. Let us go to shloka number 25. This is the essential teaching of this shloka. Why I said that I did not make much justice to this shloka in my last class? Because, dear, I did not highlight that you and me, we who are desirous to be a perfect karma yogi, we have examples around us. It is not a woolly-headed idea. It is not a fairy tale. It is not a cock and bull story. It is a fact of life, a reality of life. People do live in this world to set an example to lesser mortals how to live in this world with total involvement, as it were, but unmotivated involvement. If there is any motive, chikir shur loka sangraham. If you say there is a motive, what is that motive? Their only desire is to set an example for people who want to reach that goal. Let us now read the 25th shloka, and now it will be clear to you. Sakta karmani avidyangshaha jatha kurvanti he bharata. Let us stop here. The first line of the verse. What does he say? Saktya. Saktya means with deep attachment. Not involvement, attachment. Please kindly know for certain the distinction between involvement and attachment. I am involved in trying to explain to you the secrets and the mysteries of the Bhagavad Gita. I am deeply involved to the extent my life depends on it. That is my involvement. As a karma bhogi, an ordinary worker involved, I am equally attached with the expectation that you all understand. Attachment is the result of my activity, and I expect that. Expectation. Involvement and expectation. He says, Sakta karmani avidyangsha, non-knowers of self, non-realized people who are still karma bhogis, not karma yogi, they are totally attached to the results thereof. So they are both involved and they are attached. And because to fulfill their attachment and expectation, they put their heart and soul in performance. But he is not a realized soul. His involvement is motivated by his attachment. Kurjat vidyan tatha asakta. A vidwan, a perfect karma yogi, a realized soul, kurjat, he performs with equal involvement. Asakta, he has no expectation to fulfill. Why? He is a living, concrete, throbbing, vibrating example for you and for me. I will give you an example. I'm sharing my personal life with you. Please forgive me, bear with me. When I was a young brahmachari, I had to go to one of our realized souls, Swami Sridharananda Maharaj, to study the Upanishads. He was in his own right a realized soul. He went to the Holy Mother from Sylhet, a faraway district in Bangladesh now, in East Bengal. He went to the Holy Mother. Though he was married, he renounced everything, and the mother initiated him, gave him gerua cloth as a token of sannyas, and told him, go and get ritualistic sannyas diksha from Brahmananda, who is in Benares. This is the Swami's background. When, after doing pranams to the Holy Mother, he was going away from Jairambati to Benares, Holy Mother told to all others who were standing along with her, you see, he was a rishi in his previous life. He is born here now, he has become a rishi again, and is going to help people. That was Holy Mother's statement. At that time, when I was a brahmachari, a pre-probationer, before brahmacharya samskara, bright young brahmacharis were sent to him to study, because he was proclaimed a realized soul. The way he spoke and taught Gita or Upanishad was something to experience, indescribable. As if with the total authorities flowing out of him. Whatever it may be, coming back to this, Sakta Kurjat Vidyar Tatha Asakta Chikirshu Lokashagram. An example. While studying the Upanishads, he used to always say, my dear children, don't spare me. Anytime, 24 hours of day and night, I am available to you 24/7. You cannot retain the questions that will arise in your mind till the next morning. That is what happens. It is so subtle. As soon as a question arises in your mind, no, I am ready to help you. You can walk into my room. That is how he used to tell us. Naughty that I was, faithless that I was, I thought I must put him into test. I used to read late in the night the scriptures which he taught in the body. Because all was quiet and I, with the kerosene lamp on, I used to study and rethink and reconsider. One day, while studying, a question arose in my mind. And I thought, this gentleman keeps on saying that I am available 24/7 for you. You will not be able to retain these questions. As soon as it arises, you come to my room. I am ready, available for you. I saw the watch. It was midnight. With my book under my arms, I slowly walked into his room, went to his room. I stood at the door and I was a bit hesitant, feeling a little guilty. Why should I do that? Why should I? I was feeling that way. All of a sudden, I hear calling me by my name and telling me, "Why are you hesitating? Walk in." I was absolutely floored, flabbergasted. I walked in, and there I find the Swami sitting on his bed, square-legged, erect as a stick. "Is this your problem, my dear child? This is the answer to your problem." And he would not let me go. He repeated it for nearly half an hour till I said, "Swamiji, it is crystal clear to me, it is time for you to rest." He says, "This is my rest. This is how I rest." I did my pranam, I walked out of it. He had no business to be awake till midnight, expecting somebody would come to ask him a question. And that somebody was hesitant at his door, and he read his mind, he called him in and told him, "Is this your question?" Kurjat vidyan tatha asakta. Why? Chikir shur loka sangram. To be helpful to lesser mortals. I missed this on last time. I thought I'll appease my conscience and share this with you. This is what is being meant here. As a worldly person, attached to worldly profit and gains, which motivates him to get involved and to act, involvement, attachment are all mixed up together, creating a motivation which is a cause of involvement, whereas the other person, he is involved like you and me as it appears, but his involvement has no expectation. He is just living his life to set an example. Chikirshur Loka Sangram, setting an example. Now, there's another very pertinent question. Say, for instance, any of you reach that goal. Having reached that goal, the sense of duty has no hold on you. Having reached that goal, please mind my words, and let me again divert a little. Ideas are very slippery. You have to repeatedly expose yourself to ideas. And how do you get exposed to ideas? By proper selection of words. Words explode into ideas. And more you are used to those ideas, the more you create, according to our traditional language, more you create your samskaras, your impressions, more at home you are with the ideas. And more at home you are with the ideas, easier it is for you to put it into practice. This is the secret of spiritual life in actual performance. Now, coming back, what it is, say for instance, one of you have gone through this karma bhoga and then you have graduated into a karma yogi and param apnoti purushaha. We have heard in the 19th shloka. asakta acharan karma param apnoti purusha. That you achieve that supreme goal. Having achieved that supreme goal, you have no right to create confusion in the mind of a karma yogi, karma bhogi, who is trying to become a karma yogi. This is all bosh. It has no permanent fixture. This is the reality. So I, because of my past habits, because of my past sanskara, I am looking out profit-oriented, gain-oriented attachment to the world. I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that, I'd like to do that. All profit-oriented, gain-oriented. And I get attached. More I get attached, more I am motivated to achieve that. To achieve, I must be involved, actively involved. My samskara as of today keeps me there. You have no right, though you are a realized soul, you have no right to create confusion and tell me, this is all wrong, this is the reality. Allow me to slowly and slowly and slowly graduate into that stage. You have no right to create a confusion in my thinking by telling me something which is beyond my capacity to understand as of now. Is it clearly understood, my dear friends? Na buddhi bheda janayet ajnanam karma sanginam. Shloka number 26, the first line. Karma sanginam ajnanam, people who are steeped in this way of life, you, as a realized soul, you have no right to create buddhi bheda, conflicting ideologies conflicting in your mind, creating a confusion in your mind. You have no right to do so. Jojayet sarva karmani vidyan yukta samacharan. Instead of talking tall and telling him you're wrong, you're this, you're that, as we are always in a mood to show off. The Gita, Sri Krishna himself personally warns you, do not make this mistake. Your life, when you reach that goal, is dedicated to be helpful to others, not to create confusion in others' thinking. Na buddhi vedam janayet. Buddhi vedam means contradictory ideas conflicting in your intellectual understanding. Buddhi veda. Na janayet. You have no right to do so. That is the usage in grammar. Buddhi vedam na janayet. You have no right. Janayet means to create buddhi veda, conflicting attitude in an aspirant's mind. A person who really wants to grow. What do you do then? How do you help them? Jojayet sarva karmani. Allow them to continue their way of life. But vidyan yuktaha samacharan. But you set an example. I am not attached. I am involved, but I am not attached. My involvement is, without speaking a word, Swamiji used to say from this lesson, keep your mouth shut. Let your character and actions speak for you. Na buddhi veda janayet ajnanam karvasanninam jojayet sarva karmani. Inspire them, help them, create them a loving attitude to carry on. And you, along with them, carry on with your life with involvement but no attachment. Keep your mouth shut. Let your work and your character speak for you. That is why, dears, I thought I will repeat these two shlokas today. Na buddhi veda janayet. You, though you are a realized soul, and how do you become a realized soul? You are not dropped from the skies. You have gone through this rigmarole, and you have experienced each and every aspect of a karma bhogi. But practicing the concept of karma yogi, converting the concept of work into worship, you have succeeded. How? You have saturated your being with that idea and have become one with it. Having achieved that, don't show off and ruin the other's life. It is ruining their spiritual life. For heaven's sake, don't do so. What do? Do you behave like a stone? No. Jojayet sarva karmani. Help them, inspire them to get on with their duties of life. How? Vidyan yukta samacharan. Perfect performance of worshipfulness. You do that and show it to them how it is to be done. Set an example, keep your mouth shut. Remember these words of Swami Vivekananda. Keep your mouth shut. Let your work and life, character speak for you. So, dears, we have covered these two very, very relevant shlokas. Now, as you know, all the scriptures are compared to a mother. What does a mother do? A mother nurses a newborn baby, and she knows how to nurse a newborn baby. And that newborn baby becomes a child. That child grows either to a boy or a girl. Adolescence and adult. And the mother nurtures them, nourishes them. Mother knows what child has what temperament and how to handle that child. The mother knows. The scriptures are matri sama. They are like the mothers. So you see, the third chapter started with this question, why are you forcing me to this horrendous, horrible warfare? And Sri Krishna comes down to that level, holds him by his hand, and slowly and slowly and slowly has taken him up to that level by explaining him rationally with infallible logic and then supporting with historic facts and events, finally explaining himself, and lastly, 25th and 20th shloka, how does a realized soul conduct himself by inspiring karma bhogis to become karma yogi by doing it themselves. Now he is taking your level of awareness another step forward. What is that level of awareness another step forward? Prakrite kriyamanani gunah karmani sarvasah ahamkara vimuratma kartaham iti manyate. So it needs a little introduction. Let us get into it. Prakrite kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasha. All that you see in this world happening, both the things, objects, and object of the activities in the cosmos. You are the seer. You are the experiencer of this world. Go to the hills and the dales away from civilization. You will see the stars, the moon, the sun, the wind blowing, things happening in 1,001 different ways, and you enjoy and you see. You are the seer, you are the experiencer, and happenings are happening in this cosmos. Who runs that? Who runs that? That absolute Swamayaya Vashikritya Swam Avashtabhya. These are the catchwords. That absolute to explain to you. Who are you? You are Maya Adhina. You are under the thumb of Maya, Prakriti, Ajnana Shakti, Avidya Shakti. 4 synonyms. Prakriti, Maya, Ajnana Shakti, Avidya Shakti. They are the same. 4 synonyms of that cosmic energy which is running the whole show. Gunaha, the qualities, and karma, the activities according to qualities. Quickly an example. Someone of you or someone of us, we love to meditate, we love to think of God, we do not want to be disturbed by the world, we are a balanced personality rotating around the awareness of the divine. There are people of this personality and character. There are others, nothing doing, I will get it done. I, with full of self-confidence and dynamism. We see so many people of this character. And we see other type of humans who are absolutely lazy, indolent, not at all aspiring to improve. I am happy. I am happy. And not only that, they cover up with high-sounding philosophy. The weakness, the indolence, the laziness being covered up with high-sounding philosophy. What shall I do? The world is transitory. I don't want to get involved. We know such people also. They exist. Now, dears, these 3 types, they have their energy. One type of energy is sublime. The other is dynamic, egocentric. And the third is indolent, lazy, unable to move forward. So lazy. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Trigunatmika Maya. In Maya, I'm sorry, just a minute. Pardon me. In Maya had three different forces of three different varieties working. Gunaha, Trigunatmika Maya, it is not a quality, it's an integrated part and parcel of Maya. Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. And because of the influence of this attitude and attributes, my life pattern, activity is also conditioned by them. Sometimes I am extremely serene, sober, and I am thinking of the divine. Sometimes I am egoistically, dynamically involved to achieve something. Idam praptabhyam. This must be achieved. Rajasi quality is modifying my activity, karma. Guna karma sarvashaha. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa. Prakriti, Maya Shakti, Prakriti, Ajnana Shakti, Avidya Shakti, which is under the control of Parama Ishvara, Mayadhisha. But I am under the control of Maya, Maya Adhina. A Brahmanka Purusha, a realized soul, is Maya Mukta. Maya has lost its charm, hold on him, but he sees Maya around him. But Maya cannot play its trick on him. Maya Adhina, Maya Mukta, Maya Adhisha, who controls Maya. And the fourth stage is Maya Atita, where Maya does not exist. Maya is on Adi, but Shanta, not Ananta. Whereas Brahman is Anadi and Ananta. That is, there is no end to it. Whereas Maya is Anadi, I can't say when it started, but it can be ended in my life. The hold on Maya on me can be ended, and I am Maya Mukta. This is to be understood because Sri Krishna is now holding by our hands, raising our level of awareness to that level of the divine. From an ordinary person, Tatkim karmani hore mam niyojayasi. That is how Arjuna started. That is how we have started. Why this concept of bondage? I know I am the soul, I have no bondage. You have to experience that, not an intellectual conviction. Intellectual conviction is required to experience it. That is why Shravana and Manana is preceded by Nididhasana. Preceded by means it is before it. Shravana, listen. What does listening do? It exposes you to certain ideas. those ideas get into your brain. Brain means capacity to think over. Shravana, manana. Manana is cogitation, repetitive thinking of certain ideas till you have a total hold on it. As for instance, I say viragasya bhava vairagya. What is vairagya? Renunciation. Two words playing with each other. What is the idea? Viragasya bhava vairagya. It's an attitude. It's the way of thinking. It's an attitudinal adjustment with what? Viragasya bhava. Raga is attachment and expectation. Viraga is total rejection of attachment and expectation. That concept is vairagya. That is, I have to first understand theoretically by my brain, hearing it over and over again, viragasya bhava vairagya, viragasya bhava vairagya, viraga. Raga is attachment, viraga is varjita. Oh, attachment has to go. That my attitude towards the world should be such, I am no more attached to anything that the world offers me. So you are cogitating on that attitude and you are slowly and slowly understanding what does vairagya mean. Vairagya means that attitude, holding on to that attitude. The world loses its capacity to entice me, to charm me, to tempt me, to cheat on me. So, I am now getting used to the concept of the word vairagya, viragasya bhava vairagya. So now, I am using the word here, the Gita, Sri Krishna is using the word here, prakriti. It is the prakriti, it is the Maya Shakti, the cosmic energy of the divine. Guna karma vibhagasah sarvasah karmani kurvanti. The whole world is moving because of Maya Shakti, Prakriti, Avidya Shakti or Ajnana Shakti. What is the distinction between Maya and Brahman? Maya is anadi. We do not know when it started. When you go to sleep, you cannot punctually tell me when you started sleeping. You can't specify it. You can't specify it. That is the time I went to sleep. I went to bed at 12:10. When I slept, I don't know. Whether it was quick or later is immaterial, I do not know. But I know when I woke up. I woke up and see the watch. It was 5:30 in the morning. On Adi, Shanta. Shanta here means S is Dantasya from the root of the tooth. Santa. Santa means Anta Sahita, with an end. That is Maya Adhina, Maya Mukta, Maya Adhisha, the controller, the ruler of Maya, and then Maya Atita. Prakriti is Maya Shakti with which the world runs. Why? Why this concept? It is not only a concept, it is a reality. And if you read Sri Ramakrishna's life, you will find Totapuri a conservative Vedantin. Conservative Vedantin means he is only concentrated on the Atman or the Brahman. He denies the existence of Maya. Ye sab dhokha hai. This is all a chimera. This is all a mirage. There's nothing reality behind it. But when it pinches you, you weep. How can you say it is not real? It brings tears to your eyes. It wrenches your heart. You shout out in pain. How can you say it is not real? You can say it appears to be real, but not eternally real. It appears to be real because my five sense organs perceive it. Therefore, I can't deny its existence. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa. Prakriti, Maya Shakti, Avidya Shakti, Ajnana Shakti is the source of all that happens in the cosmos, energy, cosmic energy personified. Tangible, concretized, that is Prakriti. Gunai karmani sarvasa. Sarvasa means all-inclusive. Ahankara vimura atma karta aham iti manyate. He is now catching at the root of the problem. Going to the root of the problem, egocentricity. Individualistic, separatist, egocentric existence. Ahankara vimura atma. Ahankara. Ahankara means that feeling, I am. Namaskara, ahamkara. What does it mean? I am involved. I am involved with my ego. How I am involved? I feel myself a separate entity from the world. And because of that energy which is playing in me, because in reality, what I am is what the reality is. I am Atma Brahma. That is what my true original nature. The reflection of that reality in my chitta, in my personality, the reflection as a separate identity. By way of example, a pitcher full of water, keep it exposed to the sun. What will you see? The reflection of the sun. That is individual, separate identity of the reality high up in the skies. But it has that brightness, that orb, everything of the sun is there. Only it is a reflection on a reflector. It is a water, it may be a piece of mirror or a shining object. It's a reflection. So what is happening there is my chitta, in which that ultimate Chetana of Brahman, Satchidananda Swarup, is reflecting. And I am carried away by the reflection. And as it is contained in a picture, as it is contained in the body-mind complex, I develop that feeling, I am separate from everybody. My awareness of amness, my awareness of existence is totally isolated from everybody else. And from there the ball starts rolling. Dvaitatmai bhayam bhavati. Duality starts from this basic ignorance of my true original nature. So what Sri Krishna is now trying to tell us, that this ahankara, the awareness of my selfish, egocentric ego, separated, individual, away from everything, is Vimura Atma, is a product of my confused thinking. And because of that, I think myself to be the doer. Karta aham iti panyati. I think I am the doer. But actually, the doer is avidya shakti, maya shakti, prakriti, or ajnana shakti, which is embedded in Parameshwara. Parameshwara is Maya Adhisha. He is a ruler, controller of Maya, in whom Maya shelters itself. And Maya Atita is Nitta, Suddha, Buddha, Mukta, Sabhavavan, Atma. So this is a very, very important part of the study, because Sri Krishna, through his mouthpiece Arjuna, is explaining to us that be careful. You have your ego, that is perfectly all right. But don't forget that ego is nothing but the reality. He is in me, I am in him. I do not have any separate existence as of such. This is, dear, the meaning of the shloka number 27. In 28th shloka, he will explain to you by contrast. Ahankara vibhuratma karta ahamiti manyate. This is what is happening because of my confounded, I would say, stupidity, my confused thinking. Whereas tattavittu mahabaho, that is he, gunakarmani vibhagashaha, guna guneshu vartante iti matva na anushansati. He knows what is what, and he does not get stuck. He does not get attached. By contrast, why is this contrast here? It improves the understanding of both darkness and light. The more you are aware of darkness, the more you'll be aware of what is light. More you are aware of heat, the more you will understand what is cold. Happiness, misery. This duality, contrasting each other. Each must be known thoroughly well to know each other properly. I must know what this world is. I must know what my true original nature is. I must know them. Why should I be ignorant about it? I would know, and then I will decide to get attached to what. I'm very, very practical, very pragmatic, very realistic. If you go to shop, buy a thing, don't you see 3 or 4 items of the same? To choose which is better. Similarly, the Gita here on the 27th and the 28th shloka contrast the two states of a person who is embedded in Maya, Maya Adhina, and a person who is Maya Mukta. So that if you understand both, you will be understanding what is real, what appears to be real because it is perceptible, but in long run it is not eternal, it is unreal. Reality has its specific definition. According to that definition, these are all transitory. That is the only reality. So friends, let us stop here today. Shloka number 27. We will revise the shloka number 27 during the next session and start on the 28th. Thank you, dears. Thank you for your patience and your undivided attention. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna